Yay. Here we are. And my intro didn't come on. What a bummer, that thing. It's like so fun. It's like, got a little funky flair to it, but that's all right. It's all good. We're here right away. I mean, there's nothing really better than that. Oh my gosh. I am so, so, so excited to be here with you today and to have my listeners experience you and the world experience you. Your work is so amazing. So we'll start with just a short intro. So Amber is a books and business strategist, multi-bestselling author, speaker, and founder of NGNG Enterprises, No Guts, No Glory. She's the author of Infinite Impact, Entrepreneur's Strategic Guide to Books and Business Success, and Infinite Impact series, Stories of Alignment, and co-author of The Long Forest Trail with her son, Clay. Okay, that's like a ton. Did I botch it up?
No, you did great. Thank you. I know it's a lot.
It is a lot. Well, you've done a lot in your life, and so much has led you here. And I'll just say that, from the moment I met you, and we talk about this all the time, I just felt such a deep connection to you, and not just your work, but your soul and your heart and your passion and your commitment to people, to humanity. And your work is so much more than books, right? And
Yes.
It's so beautiful and so speaks my language, and it's all about alignment and body wisdom and everything. And so I really want you to share, the core of your work that speaks so beautifully to me on every single level, and everyone you work with, is this commitment to alignment and what that means. And I think it would be beautiful to start with just, what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
And why does it matter? Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like an interesting journey, because back in 2006, just before I created NGNG, I had no desire or intention to be an entrepreneur. I had no formal business training. It was literally a time where I had some access through an event to the online world and some of the gurus that were doing internet marketing. And I just thought, well, this is really interesting and I love a good challenge. So I taught myself code and I built my own little blog, and I started blogging about the things that I was learning about, like SEO and persuasive copywriting and AdWords and social media. And then somebody came to me from Canada and said, can you help me build a website called Conscious Divas? And I said, me? Like, I guess, but I mean, all the stress, Jen, I'm like, what do I charge? How do I do this? Like, is this for real? Like, all of my self-worth issues came up because I was a deeply insecure person back then. And then, all of a sudden, the way that websites found me, books found me. And I had a publisher out in California ask if she could hire me and pay me to teach me how to launch books so I could do it for her authors. And I actually said no for about 4 months, but she kept coming after me. And I said, fine, teach me about books. Like what?
Right.
And then my website and an author clients would say, like, can you teach me marketing? Can you teach me how to sell? Can you teach us? So over the years, NGNG just grew. And by the time we were in, let's say 2022, I had about 175 active clients at a time. I'm managing a team of almost 40 people. And we were known as book launch experts, probably first. But at that point, I had made about 1,000 authors, #1 bestsellers. And then we had launched at that point over 1,000 websites. And, it was pretty successful little business. And it was really, impactful for me until everything changed. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So in December of 2023, excuse me, this was right after my son wanted to launch his children's book, The Long Forest Trail, as a then just turning 7-year-old. So he was a best-selling author before I was, which is kind of funny. But then that, about a month later, I get this calling from my body. And the message was, it's time to write the book. And I was like, no. Like, I'll write the book someday, but this isn't a good time. Like, you make all of the things about what your plans were going to be. This is what I want to do. And then life has other plans for you. So I was sitting down at my computer and I had writer's block. And I thought, it's just like, I don't want to write a book about how to launch your book. Like it feels like not what I'm into right now. Cause I had just done this 2-year, very deep dive into psychology and my subconscious and inner child work. And that's really the mode I was in. So it just felt like I was disinterested in writing a book about how to launch a book, but that's what my business was about.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I was facing this resistance, Jen, I said, okay, I know resistance now. What is it trying to communicate? And I said, out of the thousands of authors that I've spoken to and worked with over the years, what did they all have in common? Instantly, my body said they were all out of alignment. And I thought, out of alignment? What does that even mean? Like, I said, I don't even know if I've ever spoken those words before. And the body said, teach them alignment. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what that means. So you're going to have to help me out here. I mean, I really, Jen, back then, I just felt like I was crazy, even though I listened to my intuition. I have a very strong relationship with it, but this still just felt like beyond what I was capable of in that moment. And so I looked back and I recognized that all of my clients had resistance to marketing and visibility and launching their book. And I thought, well, what do I do to help them overcome that? Oh, well, I teach them this avatar exercise that I learned a million years ago. And by helping my authors come up with one individual that's a representative of the collective that they are uniquely designed to impact, then all of a sudden, like, I could do a video for one person. I could write my book for one person. I could send this email out to one person. That's easy, Amber. And I thought, well, maybe there's something to that. And then I had to explore the rest of the framework, which we can dig into. But in short, getting into alignment by now what I have known the work to be, it means choosing to live in line with your deepest values, beliefs, and needs. And most people don't know what it is that they actually need. So we walk around, Jen, just feeling like we have these blind spots. Something keeps showing up in my relationships or my friendships or financially or in my health or in my business. And so this process of knowing your alignment can help you to meet your own needs, to understand your values, these decision-making filters, and to show up in the world with wholeness. Because when you show up in the world with wholeness, you're shining your light, you're in your body fully, you're not feeling frustration and fear and despair and anger and shame and guilt and all of these lower level feelings. You're just showing up as your highest and best self. And don't you want that for your life, like every single day? So alignment's actually pretty important. That's what we wrote the book about.
I mean, wow. There's so many things that you said. It's so incredible and so exactly right. I mean, it makes sense. I'm curious. There's a couple questions that I have that just came up, but I'm curious, do you find that the people that you help get into alignment, when they find that person that they're serving, is it a reflection of themselves often?
100%. And I don't tell them that immediately because some people are just not ready to do the inner work.
Right.
And it's scary to them because of whatever somebody else said. It's actually not scary to go in there, but we've been sort of conditioned otherwise to want external things and accomplishments and money and cars and stuff. So, I mean, there has been this cultural conditioning to seek solutions out there, but I'm really happy that we're in a time where now my work is getting out, your work is getting out, other people's work is getting out, saying, no, the answers are in there. So I'm still careful and I meet people where they are with it because I don't just do this work with entrepreneurs.
Right.
I might have a housewife who's just feeling like, gosh, I'm frustrated. I feel like something is off. I feel like I'm destined for more, but I don't know what that means. I don't know how to access it. So they get into alignment and they're coming up with a representative of this collective that they can positively influence, whether that's like she walks into the barista at the Starbucks and she can positively influence that person or what have you. So this is for individuals as much as it can be for entrepreneurs. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it is a true doorway into you, because a lot of times it just makes sense. The people that you're uniquely designed to impact are people who are going through what you've already been through.
Mm-hmm.
Those stretching pains, the growth pains, the self-worth, the validation, the self-love, the self-trust. Like, at a certain point, maybe you've been further down the road than the people before you. And there's so many people in humanity that need help right now, Jen. It's like, it's never been more difficult out there. So I'm hoping that people just take a chance and see what this get into alignment thing is all about. It's actually pretty fun. It's fast. It's easy. You'll learn so much about yourself, even if you're embarking on the journey for business purposes, let's say, to make sure that your marketing is actually successful in today's marketplace.
What's so fascinating about this is that it really feels, it's almost like business strategy, but therapy as well. It's like this healing and listen, I went through the alignment process and I had that aha where I was like, oh my God, it's me. Right? Like,
surprise.
It would be so great. I mean, I know you can't do this because it's like, it's not appropriate. But I could see, this is what I saw in my head, like the boxes of hundreds of that. It's me. Oh my God, it's me. Oh my God, it's me. Of you, because I could see that just that moment is probably so present in your alignment strategy sessions. And I think it's so beautiful because it's really an approachable way when we're talking about it from like a
very approachable
standpoint. It's an approachable way to heal our own selves with such delicacy, right?
Yeah.
Because we're thinking we're creating this avatar to serve, but really we're pouring into ourselves without feeling defensive or guarded, because we don't really realize that at first.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when I created Heather, my avatar, back when I was 26, 27 years old, I actually had a business consultant that I'd hired, and he put me through a 15-hour session. So he flew out to my home and I was exhausted. We went through every aspect of my life and business. And it wasn't until like 1 or 2 in the morning, after I was just smashed, I was so exhausted, that's when he says, okay, we're going to make an avatar for you. And I'm like, what's an avatar? And he had a different approach to it. And I've since sort of iterated on it, but I was back then where it was like, I couldn't overthink it because he had just broken my brain down throughout the day by design, so that I didn't have a defense system and I could just come out with what wanted to emerge. And that was Heather. And Heather was a stay-at-home mom. She had 2 young kids, and she was starting at one point to just feel like not good about herself. And, she thought, I have got to do something. So she decides to start working out, and she does yoga, and she finds inspiration about that. She starts eating better. She starts feeling better in her body. She starts a little blog to hope other moms, can start to feel good about themselves too. And she tries a little subscription plan. But it's so interesting because she loves the writing. She loves like helping people, but the business side, she just implodes. It's so hard for her. She gets frustrated. She beats herself up all the time. And I imagined this whole day in the life of Heather, even where in the afternoon, after she picks up her kid from the school, the younger girl is on the floor playing with her doll and chatty to mom. And mom is there folding towels. And in her head, she's so exhausted and so defeated. She's shaming herself that she didn't make more progress at work. She's behind, on dinner. Her husband just texted, he's going to be late. She's holding the weight of the world. And I didn't know anything about motherhood back then. I was 26. But this was the character that emerged. And I started doing my entire business development only for Heather. Every email, every speech, every video, every business decision, I only did it for Heather. And I just watched as my company grew and grew and grew and grew, even though I had no experience running a business at all. But what was crazy about this, Jen, is when I was about 38, 39, Heather's age. And this is the loop that I certainly didn't anticipate, but all of a sudden I stepped into role of motherhood, and I was, I was married, and now I had this toddler, and I was trying to run this business, and I'm sitting there later on, folding towels, and there's clay, and I'm in my head, and I was like, whoa, like I am Heather,
Oh my
even
God.
though I created her back then. I mean, it just blew
Wow.
my mind, Jen. And so it's interesting because your avatar has a whole lifeline. And so no matter where you start, you can move around to the different stages of her life and see it through a completely different lens, but you're still like, that's your person moving forward. And so even at that time, I was able to get wisdom from her, which was really inside of my own self, right? But wisdom, thinking about like, how would I advise Heather in this moment to regain control and pay attention to her kid and to not beat herself up? Like, what would it look like for her to be free from that trapped pattern? And that introspective question, looking at her, helped me to solve it for myself back then. I mean, it was just, we're getting pretty deep into psychology, but like it is, unlike therapy, which I strongly advocate
Yeah.
for. It's a window into yourself, and it's so much easier to help somebody else, right? It's easier to guide them as opposed to like want to look around and muck around in there. So there's a lot of different applications for it. And it doesn't mean that you have to bulldoze your life. It's just more of like developing almost a love affair with yourself. It's like you start to just nurture and love and trust yourself. And all of a sudden, all of the stuff you've been, clawing after in the external world, like that just disappears because you don't really want for much anymore because you just feel whole inside. So you can be present and just really enjoy the moment that's unfolding in front of you.
I
It's
mean,
beautiful.
who doesn't want this, right? It's like, it's such a gift. The framework that you've created is so beautiful. And it's really this reunion and deep, deep understanding with self. I just love it so much. And it is deeply psychological. And you were saying that you did all of these courses, which I also find very interesting. Like everything adds up, everything sort of stacks on itself for your life journey and how you got to this work, because you said you were doing all of these courses and this inner child work and everything. And then this kind of evolved. I have a question. When you find people get into alignment, right, and they have their avatar and they're serving their avatar, which is really serving themselves, how often through the journey do they have to like come back to your foundational four, which we should talk about just a little bit, like how are they always reminded through the process about themselves? It sounds like you had that, oh my God, it's me, when you were 39. I just wonder how the relationship shifts and evolves in your experience with yourself and with your clients throughout the journey of a few years,
Sure. So a few things there. The foundational four framework. Number one, it starts with avatar, finding the one person.
Right.
And it is very intuitively led. So the fact that you're following Jen tells me that this is going to be easy, easy, easy for you. So your avatar appears. Then inside of a 20-minute visualization that I do group sessions. We actually have one starting tomorrow for anybody that wants to be a part of that experience for free. I also have a group of certified alignment guides that can take you through this visualization in one session too, but it's 20 minutes and it helps you see your avatar, create a vision, and understand your why. These are common business pillars that I just turned into a process that can be widely applicable, right? So the vision, as it's taught in business, it's like, what are you reaching toward? And it's like, I want to help 10 million people grow successful brands online or whatever.
Yep.
But a lot of business owners can't actually ground into that because it's like so high in the sky. It's so far, they never know if they hit it. So I propose that your vision is something that can be achievable in any moment, every day. So my vision is to help the individual in front of me feel heard, seen, and valued.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If I can do that, oh, for sure I'm going to hit the 10 million number, and all the other things will come as a result of it, right? So we identify your real vision of how you want to interact with individuals around you. This impacts how you parent, your spouse, if you have one, friends, clients, the world at large. You'll find so much more harmony in your relationships. It'll blow your mind. Why? Usually for an entrepreneur, it's like, well, because I want to help people, which is great. I love your heart of service. But why do you want to help people? There is a need inside of you that is simply unmet. We call it an unmet need. And it is buried in you, and it was formed usually in like childhood, adolescent years. And that need, okay, created a belief. And this belief is how you operate in the world, because the belief fires off these emotions, which fires off your thinking brain that's trying to problem solve it, which creates these actions, which creates these outcomes. And you don't have to really understand all of that right now, but just to say, this visualization drops you into your primary unmet need. And sometimes, Jen, it's love or validation or security or empowerment, mine's freedom, which was a surprise to me, because I'm like, I am free in the world. Why would that come up for me? And all of a sudden, when I did the work outside of alignment, because I was curious, I remembered back to when I was like 6, 7 years old, feeling trapped in my bedroom. And my sister, who was older, didn't like me very much, a lot of door slams, but I think she just resented having to take care of me because my single mom was gone all the time. And I felt trapped in this environment of abandonment and feeling like nobody wanted me. And I was so young. And I certainly didn't want to use my voice, because I also learned as a kid that it was safer to be invisible. There was a time when I was 16 where I used my voice for really the first time to share my truth. And I was bullied a lot in high school. And for whatever reason, sharing this truth was enough to get me jumped by 6 girls at a party that was made up for me. And I talk about it in the book. So I just developed these things of like, don't talk, don't share your truth. I felt trapped in that too. So it would make sense that my whole life has been on this search for freedom. It even interacted with my decision to separate from my marriage and to move and to create distance with family members that were not healthy for me. And it really has revealed to me so much about, I just needed to feel free inside. So this alignment, this foundational 4 framework, avatar, vision, why is the unmet need. So if I can move out into the world, and let's say, Jen, you're my Heather, which you're so my Heather. What I would do is I would really focus every interaction with you on just helping you feel heard, seen, and valued. Because what happens is when Jen feels heard, seen, and valued, it meets her need for freedom. And when Jen's needs are being met, she's like a little light bulb. I mean, it's amazing when her needs are met. And she then shows up powerfully in the world. Well, me as the one that emoted that and helped her to achieve that, oh my gosh, what it does in return for me is I'm like, I feel so free in the world in this moment. Like I could do literally anything. So now Jen and I have this incredible relationship of mutual reciprocation. We're giving and receiving, and it just keeps elevating to the point where like, I feel like we could power a 3rd world country with our energy, Jen. And that's kind of the power of alignment. And it doesn't have to be in a client capacity. Imagine this with your child, your best friend, or your spouse. I mean, it's just that energy acceleration. The last part of the foundational 4 framework is core values. And I don't mean to poo-poo that, but it's if avatar, vision, and why is how you get into alignment, values is how you stay in alignment. It becomes your guardrails. So the evolution, to end here with your question, keep giving you a lot of information and answers, is that once you see your alignment, you can't unsee it. So when people keep coming back for more, like tomorrow, when I kick off my group alignment program, we'll have people in that room that have gotten into alignment, done this visualization 12 times. Why would they do that? They see the same avatar every single time. But what happens is they go deeper into their own unmet need and they see different applications for it based on whatever is happening in their lives in that moment. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like this gift that just keeps giving to you and keeps healing and creating clarity and empowerment. The more you do it, just the more bliss you get to experience with it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing all of that. I mean, your story and as a child and that informing this work, so incredibly powerful and vulnerable. And I appreciate you for bringing that into this conversation. I also am feeling, as you're talking and sharing, obviously, everyone that's listening to can feel, I would imagine, your energy, right? You are so passionate about this work. And what I keep hearing is it's because you birthed it. Like it came from your soul. You did this work. And I just think it's a real testament to why it's so important. Like here's an example of what happens when you listen,
Gotta listen
when
to your
you
body.
follow. Yeah. When you follow and you follow the guidance, look what happens. You heal and create something for the world that is so incredibly beautiful. And you feel your passion because you've been there. So well, you created
It's
because
amazing. I mean, I've never felt more free in my entire life. And, we were out to dinner less than 2 weeks ago, and I was sharing with you that I have not been in a relationship since I separated from my husband almost 5 years ago. And when I hear that out loud, I'm like, oh, but that's my cultural conditioning
right.
speaking. Like, oh, you got to get married, you got to have a relationship, and I'm not knocking relationships, but I'm saying like, my truest self is like, I am in such bliss, finally feeling free in my own body that like, I can't even imagine any higher feeling than this right now. And I kind of just want to swim in it for a while and just because it's true. Like, I'm not afraid to say what's in my heart to say. I'm not afraid to show my awkward, quirky, whatever side. I'm not afraid to be too much anymore because I was for a long time. I don't feel subservient anymore. I don't let other people have power over me anymore. And these are very real parts of my past.
Yes.
So it's just, it's really remarkable
Mm.
what it can keep giving to you. And now thousands of people have gotten into alignment just in the last over year and a half, Jen. And I mean, it was so powerful that people wanted to get certified in the work and then do this for their clients. And then we did the Stories of Alignment, the anthology book on September 9th of these powerhouse leaders who got into alignment and just it opened up their whole world. So, I mean, it's awesome. And what I feel like my day job is like I'm still doing branding. I'm helping entrepreneurs create an aligned business and use this as a tool to leverage in their marketing so that they can amplify their authentic voice. And the real work is that when you get right with you, anytime you're speaking, anytime you're expressing, anytime you're just sitting in silence in a room, people can feel the difference.
Yeah.
And it's that feeling that draws your right people in. Those are like people just like you, right? Birds of a feather flock together. And so all of a sudden, all of these people, you don't even have to understand how it works because I don't, but it's like there's just this constant flow of people that I feel so like deeply aligned with. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And I just have to sit here thinking this is the most magical experience. I never in a million of years could have imagined that it could be this good and sacred and pure and natural. But hey, this is what we do. So it begins with alignment. And then a lot of entrepreneurs will use that to grow a very aligned business that just is very generative for them.
I love all of that. I have a question about, we have a couple minutes left, so I'd love to just quickly talk about this. You mentioned earlier about, your body told you, and you have strong intuition. And so if we like rewound, is that the word? All the way back, like for people, there's a lot of people that don't know, this is the outcome, everything you have. And at the beginning, when people are like, I want that. I want that energy. I want to create that impact. I want to write those books. I want to do all of that. She followed her instincts. Her body told her. What did that mean? What does that mean? How did you hear it?
So there are these different voices inside of us, and that doesn't have to make you feel like a crazy person. It's just true. And there are a lot of people that used to say this is just woo and weird. And it's like, okay, now we're seeing this is evidence. There's science backed, like this is real. So it's actually not that woo. But the easiest way that I like to describe it is imagine you're driving down the road and you take a left turn and there's this instinct, this voice that says, I think I was supposed to take a right back there.
Mm-hmm.
That is not your thinking brain, because your thinking brain needs to collect evidence to come to a conclusion. There is no evidence that you were supposed to take a right back there, right? It was just a feeling that you had. That's the feeling of your intuition. That's the voice of your intuition. So that's the one that I have learned to listen to and prioritize no matter what. Even in a moment of pressure, when it's like, it's time to write the book. I'm like, I don't want to write the book. Well, you're going to write the book. I'm like, okay, I'm writing the book because this voice told me to write the book. So I'll write the book. And it's always speaking to me, Jen. And I have honestly listened to this intuition for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I ignore it and get a slap. And I'm like, okay, yep, should have listened to the intuition. But my thinking brain is trying to keep me safe.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, don't use your voice, Amber, because the last time you used your voice, you got jumped at a party. So you should just be really an introvert. You should be invisible in the world. We can't do that. There's danger.
Right.
Your soul is like, go ahead, go. You have so much to offer to the world.
Right.
And so which one are you going to listen to? And, Jen and I are saying, listen to your intuition, because your life will be more magnificent than anything you could ever even imagine. Yeah. You're just going to have to trust it and experiment with it.
Yeah. Really quick. And then we're going to wrap up. I'm sorry, we're going over. I want to talk quickly. It's interesting to me because you came from a place of not feeling seen, heard, validated, all of that. And then you came into it. So that bridge, and maybe we can come back on version 2 here.
No worries.
But if you have a second, if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, how you trusted yourself to start listening, because you came from that place of like, wait, I have to close down this. You talked about the room and your sister and the experience at the party, and then how to rebuild to then start listening to get on this journey, That's
a tough one, because there was a part of me that built these walls so that nobody could access hurting this more deeper, vulnerable, innocent side inside of myself.
Yeah.
So I learned to maneuver by holding up these walls. And then I was a bit of a chameleon, which is hard to admit out loud. It was not a conscious manipulation. It was an unconscious survival instinct.
Yeah.
So I would have my walls up and then I would mirror you. And it would work. And that's how I was successful in business. Right. But it was interesting that I was seen as so confident and successful in business. Right. But when I stepped out of my office, right. I was like this insecure, wounded bird that was subservient to everybody around me.
Yeah.
And I kept wondering, like, what's up with that? So strange, Yeah. So it was almost like I was living two sides of myself at any one time, where there was this, protective instinct. And then there was the more natural me. It's like there was my brain versus my intuition. And it was just like always interweaving. It was so interconnected that I couldn't feel or sense the difference between the two.
Right.
So I did listen to my intuition in many cases.
Right.
I just wasn't consciously aware of when I wasn't. And then I found myself in these weird experiences and circumstances that felt so misaligned. Now I can say that.
Yeah.
And it just created havoc in my life, but I didn't know what the root of it was. I didn't understand why I had so much incongruence in my life. And then I found I call him my consciousness coach because there's no way to label Dimitri, but he started to be the one to really mentor me in his 30 plus years of work on psychology and subconscious and inner child and all of these different things. And I got a master class from one of the top in the world in this work. And it was very confusing, but we had to unwind a lot of these stories. I found all sorts of beliefs that were outdated, that I wouldn't choose them if I had the choice. I had to do a lot of rewiring, shift my perspective in the world. I mean, this was like 2.5 years of deep work that I did.
Yeah.
And that's not what most people have to do. I had a fair amount of complex PTSD that I was carrying around underneath the castle walls.
Yeah.
So there was more there for me to unpack than I think the average person needs to do. But even if you do have complex PTSD or some really deep trauma, or you were raised by narcissists or whatever the situation is, I hope I can be a beacon of hope for you that you actually can reclaim. You really can live a life of purity that is by your design, not what others have put upon you.
Love.
It's emotional just even saying that, that's the human experience. We want you to be free. That's the journey. It's a hero's journey.
Thank you. Hence the birds.
Yes.
I am so grateful for your time, and thank you for going over. I know your time is very, very valuable, so valuable to me. I hope for you and to anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Please, like, oh my gosh, just, reach out to Amber. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, just be in my world. There's a lot of incredible.
Amber Vilhauer.
My world is full of Jens. So if you like Jen, you're gonna like everybody in my community. We're a very aligned bunch, and we're out to do good in the world and to be better for ourselves and those around us. And we can experience that in a lot of different forms, whether it's alignment or book launches or websites or whatever it is. But maybe start by following me on social media and reach out when you want to. I'm very easy to talk to. I will never make you feel like you're a number or that I'm rushed. I'm just going to be present with you. So
how can people find you? What's the best way?
Well, I think I'm the only Amber Vilhauer in the world. The challenge more is that nobody knows how to say, spell, or remember that. So good luck. Just know.
Well, it's right here on her.
It's right here on the screen. So just find me. I'm on
screen.
every social network. And then if you Google me, you'll find I have 4 different websites. And we do have that alignment group coaching experience. It's 4 weeks. It kicks off tomorrow. It's still available. It's free. So we can drop the link in chat or something so that you can get access to that. And let's just get you into alignment. Let's go.
Oh my, let's go. Your body's speaking. I mean, how beautifully aligned is that, right? I love you. I adore you. I'm grateful to you. You've been a huge support guide in my life and will continue to be, and friend now. And I just love everything that you're doing. So thank you for your.
We'll see you again on the 30th for Jen's best-selling book launch party, baby. So I'll be back at least for a few minutes to visit with you then.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Perfect. All right, Amber. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you. Bye.
Okay, appreciate you.